So we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I think life sort of just keeps going on. I think we thought that this was just gonna be a blip in 2020, that we would go back to our regularly scheduled activities and life would be normal again. I thought by the summer life would be normal again. It is now August. Summer is ending. We are still in a pandemic. I have made the executive decision in my life to continue living. So I am dating in the middle of 2020, in the middle of Atlanta, in the middle of a pandemic. And I have a few stories. I like to say relationships are for the evolution of your soul, and dating is part of the process to get to the relationship. Through the dating process, you can find out a lot about yourself, a lot about what you like, what you don't like. I'm 31. I'm at a place now where I feel really, really, really comfortable in going after what I want, in making it known what I want. I'm fine with rejecting. I'm fine with rejection. I am excited. I think dating is fun. And I got back in the dating game last year, 2019. But then after a 6-month dating period went, and then it didn't go anywhere. Just took a break, had other goals in life. But then in March, I wanted to get back into dating. And that is when COVID-19 basically in Georgia, in the United States, hit. And so I was like, it's hard to meet people, right? Turn to online dating. I enjoy online dating because there's a lot of control there. You get to pick who you want to interact with, all that stuff. So this story is, I think, going to sound so Atlanta. I don't know, because I'm not from here, but I think it sounds so Atlanta. Met a guy, not in person, met a guy online, and he was in Atlanta. We made plans to meet in person the Saturday, because it's very important to me, who is interested in really actually connecting with people, to meet in person fairly soon after exchanging numbers. So it was probably a week. We made plans. He had something with his brother come up. His brother was in town unexpectedly with his wife, and it was a whole story, and he had to fly out that same day. So we never actually got to meet. So he canceled plans. Red flag-ish, kind of. Okay, so he goes to LA, and I think things were worse in LA then than they were in Georgia at the time, but things were just rolling up. And so it's okay, so then when are you coming back? Because you say you do business here, but you're from New York, but you also do work in LA. People live really different lifestyles. I think if you just see people doing regular 9-to-5s all the time, it may be difficult to conceive of different lifestyles that a lot of people are living. A lot of people travel for work all the time, live by coastal, that sort of thing. So that's not unfamiliar to me. I think I've been exposed to a really diverse group of people who live those really different lives. So that wasn't atypical, and I'm not against traveling or a traveling mate per se, but that's not really what was happening in this case. So I liked him. I don't really like people, but I liked him. And so I allowed the time in between our initial date to when he's moving back to Atlanta to lengthen. So now it's 3 weeks and he hasn't made his way back to Atlanta. Okay, when is that going to happen? Because what I'm not going to do is have a whole emotional relationship with a man that I've never met. I'm not doing that again. So that date was not forthcoming. But in the midst of this, part of what I found out, because I had to ask directly, is he was homeless. And it's gonna be so weird how I found out. I asked, wait, do you have a home in New York? Do you have an apartment in Atlanta? Maybe homeless is not the word, but he had no home. Do you understand what I'm saying? He had no home. And that concept I could not relate to. I needed to know more. when I asked for more information, I was ghosted. Dun, dun, dun. Which is just really wild to me. I don't think I've ever been ghosted before, but it was an interesting experience during the pandemic. Throughout this process, I've had like really, really lovely conversations with a number of guys that have led to nowhere. But, you know, it's nice just to be able to have a deep conversation with someone, even if it doesn't go anywhere. I'm not really in the business of making a bunch of guys my friends. You know what I mean? Like guys who are attracted to me, I don't like accumulate male friends. But it's been really creative finding places to go out on a date. So I've been doing like a lot of parks, outdoor seating, pool, meeting by the pool. Those have been pretty interesting. I feel like I'm not gonna stop living. You have to be creative throughout this process. Dating in Atlanta is a bit of an experience. After a year of being here, I have to say it might be a little bit different than dating in other places, mostly because of the sort of people who flock here. Not that the people who come here are specific people, but the navigating through, you know, the music, people, and, you know. So the other interesting story is, a short story about how I was on a second date with a guy who ended up telling me that he had a girlfriend. Girlfriend is my term, not his. But if you have been talking to someone exclusively for 6-7 months and talking about like next steps, like you have a girlfriend. I think you have a girlfriend, don't you? Isn't that what that is? Okay. The interesting part is how I found out, or what made him. So I'm a crier. Like in real life, I cry. Like I just cry. Like I'm emotional. And I was relating to him a personal story, like related to my son, and I started crying. And I think he felt so guilty. I think he felt so bad because he had also had conversations about, you know, how honesty was very important to him, how he cuts people off if they lie. And then here he is with a whole girlfriend. And so I think my crying sort of prompted him to confess that, hey, I actually have somebody already. And no hard feelings. I appreciate the truth and your honesty. So yeah, like, we definitely not gonna see each other again, but like, thank you for being real honest. Like, thank you. Part of the experience here in Atlanta, it's like, there's some men who think they're prizes, and I don't think anything is wrong with you thinking you're a prize, but the men who view themselves as, I'm the prize. I'm the prize. I don't know. They're also the same men to say things like, it's 20-1. It's, there's 20 women to 1 man in Atlanta, yet you still can't find one. I don't know. No judgment to them, but like, those aren't my people. But I met a really lovely gentleman today who was so polite and, so appropriate in so many ways. It's not gonna work out though, because I'm not interested in a polygamous relationship. But isn't it so nice to be able to be grown and to have like these kind of conversations with people from the get-go? I just have no idea what my dating life is going to continue to be like in Atlanta. I know that I'm going to continue dating. I'm going to, be vigilant, and I'm not going out on dates with people who've been to bars recently or to the club, because those things are still happening. I am just trying to live my life while reducing the risk of, exposing anyone that I love to this virus. Let me know how you've been handling this whole coronavirus, quarantine, dating, living your life. And thank you for watching.